Hey guys, and welcome back to Mad About Skin. If you're new to our channel, welcome. Here at Mad About Skin, we're passionate about helping you to get the most out of your skincare. So if you haven't already, now's a fantastic time to click the link below, ring the bell, subscribe to the channel, and you won't miss any of the amazing content that we've got lined up. If you're one of our regular subscribers, well, you'll notice we're in a bit of a room reverse. That's because here in the UK, we might all be in quarantine, we might all be self-isolating, but it is gorgeous weather outside. The sun is shining through the window, making it practically impossible to film. But whilst it's a bit of a pain to film, it's absolutely amazing for sitting out in the garden and enjoying some quality self-care time, lounging around in the sun. So I'm not going to complain. I'm just going to switch the view around so I can still film. So in today's video, I'm going to be keeping it quick and I'm going to be giving you 5 easy at-home skincare hacks. These are things that hopefully you will have lying around the house that you can use whilst you're in self-isolation. Maybe you've run out of a few products, maybe you're looking for something a bit different, you might have a little bit more time to spend on your self-care and you want to add a few homemade steps into their routine. Well, these are 5 things that I think anybody can do that's going to improve people's skincare using natural ingredients and just really adding some extra supercharge to your daily routine. So I hope you find these tips useful. I'm going to get straight into them and hopefully, I don't know, sound off in the comments if you're going to try any of them and if you're going to find any of them useful. So first of all, hack number one, you're going to need this. This is a pair of plain cotton socks. Now, hopefully everybody has these lying around the house, but these are absolutely amazing if you have dry skin. So my hands have been practically red raw. If you're very observant in there, if you're very observant and you've been looking at my last maybe like week's worth of videos, I've been doing as much as possible to conceal my hands because they have been looking ratchet, and I mean dry and chapped and just generally awful. Now I'm putting that down to the fact that I'm washing my hands far more often than usual because of, virus and going out shopping, you're touching things, you come back, you wash your hands maybe twice as much, or I certainly am, than usual. And all of that soap, surfactants, things like that is drying out your skin. And let that, guys, be a lesson to what it's doing if you're using those things in your facial cleanser. It's doing exactly the same thing to your face. It's very drying, very harsh, very stripping. So tip number 1 is get a bog standard, cheap as drugstore moisturiser. This is the Vitamin E skincare by Superdrug. Superdrug's a drugstore here in the UK, really cheap. I love all their products actually, just as a side note, because they're all cruelty free. All their own brand is cruelty free and they actually really work. This tub is mammoth. How much has it got in here? 475 millilitres. That's a really random amount. Basically 500 millilitres of product. So huge amount of product. Cost about £3. Right, smells quite nice, vitamin E rich, great moisturiser. Now this, as a moisturiser, is distinctly average. I got it because it's cheap and it's great when you're out of the shower and you want to do a body moisturiser, but it's cheap and it's not as effective as like the La Roche-Posay Cicaplast. So what you do if you've got super dry hands or dry feet, works either, is lather this on, and I mean use like 3 or 4 times the amount you normally would. Really make sure you can't rub it in, it's properly soaked, your hands are soaked. Then simply slip a sock onto each hand or foot if you're using it on the feet. Go to sleep, and in the morning, honestly, your hands will feel like 4 times as moisturised as they normally would without using the cotton sock. So I use this twice. I've done it for the past 2 nights, and my hands, I'm not ashamed to show them anymore. My hands don't look like aged and haggard and ratchet. They look smooth, fabulous, and on the way to recovery. The science behind this is really, really simple, guys. Basically, cotton is fantastic at absorbing product, so that it means that the product stays close to your skin for much, much longer. In fact, the whole time you're sleeping, you'll wake up and the sock will still feel slightly damp with the product, which is exactly what you need. It's holding it next to the skin for 8 hours instead of like 20 minutes when you normally put it on. The heat, it generates heat because it traps that level or that layer of air, not just oxygen, between the sock and your hand. That warms up with the body heat, and we all know that products penetrate better when they're warm, so it's just a win-win-win and absolutely fantastic. So hack number 2 also involves a sock. Now I'm using this because I just hope that everybody has socks lying around the house. Involves a sock, and these are Porridge Oats. So these are the whole rolled Scottish Porridge Oats. These are quite bougie. I don't even know why we bought them. I think everyone panic bought the normal cheap brand that I normally get. So we got these. Now, you can use these, if you can see them, are the whole oats. You can use the instant porridge oats, but they're not quite as effective. So if you can get whole rolled oats, even better. Literally put 2 handfuls in a sock, tie it at the end. Once it's got in there, dunk it in a bath. Run yourself a bath. Put it as close to the water so the water's running onto it. Run a bath, and it turns the water sort of like a creamy consistency. Run a hot bath, get in it, and honestly, this is like the #1 life hack for when you have inflamed, sensitive, dry and sore skin, because oatmeal is absolutely fantastic at calming irritation. It's packed full of ingredients it's packed full of minerals and things which are really going to take down the irritation, take down any swelling that you've got, and just really help to soothe and heal the skin. I think soothe is the best word. It is just absolutely fantastic as a bath soak. And so, do you know what? I do this probably once, well, I try to do it once a week. I don't. Probably about once every 2 weeks, because it is a bit of a faff. But when I do it, my skin, when I come out, is smooth, it's soft, it's fantastic. This is honestly like one of the best things you can do if you've got dermatitis, if you've got eczema. It is just gorgeous to soak in all of the juices that come from the oatmeal. It's just absolutely gorgeous. So rolled oats, 100% rolled oats. Don't, whatever you do. I did do this once, and on a bit of a tangent, I did do this once with instant porridge oats, which aren't as effective, but it's just as good. Didn't realise they were actually golden syrup, which is like refined syrup here in the UK. I don't know if you have it in the US, but syrup flavoured, and that was a gooey, tragic disaster. So make sure they're unflavoured, and if you can get the whole oats, even better. So that's hack number 2. Number 3 is going to involve this. Now, if you live in the UK, you are probably as tea mad as I am. I drink maybe like 10 cups a day. Probably not good for you, but you know, I keep doing it. This is tea bag. Now, this is going to be a lifesaver. If you pop it in the fridge and you apply it to under the eye area, so you can put it to the whole eye and just leave it on there, or you can do it to hold it under the eye. This is fabulous in place of your caffeine solution. So what a caffeine solution does, I use the 5% by The Ordinary. You've heard me rave about it before. You can't get your hands on that, and The Ordinary shipping is a nightmare at the moment because everybody's ordering, they've got a backlog, everything's out of stock, it's manic. Don't worry, grab a tea bag. It's got to be used because you want the water to have mashed all the tea inside and release all of the goodness that's going to contact your skin. Put it in a fridge so it's super cooling. What this is going to do is the caffeine is going to boost the rate of water moving around in the area, so it's going to help get rid of any puffiness, any water retention you've got. It's going to the cooling is going to constrict the ventricles, so it's going to stop some of that discoloration you get under your eye, and it's really going to help tighten and brighten the under eye area. Tea is packed full of flavonoids, which are a amazing antioxidant, which I'm sure you've heard me talk about before. So that's amazing. Works best with green tea. If you haven't got green tea, black tea is absolutely fine. Some of the things I would just caution against if you're using this is decaf. If you're using a decaf tea bag, you will still get the cooling sensation, which is fine. You'll still get the constriction, but you won't get the benefits of the caffeine, so it's not quite the same. So use a caffeinated tea bag if you've got one, and stay away from any fruit teas and stuff, because I just don't think you're going to get the same benefit other than the cooling. Grab a black tea bag or a green tea bag, slap it under the eye. Each eye, if you've got the time, lay there, let it do its work for 20 minutes. Honestly, it's so calming, so soothing, but also you'll notice a difference under your eye. So that's tip number 3, which is fantastic. Number 4. Now, it might be too late because you might not already have it in your house, but if you haven't, once all of this quarantine and this self-isolation is over, go out and buy an aloe vera plant. Now, I don't know why more people don't have these, because they can grow in the UK even in the, not now, it's gorgeous, but normally cold climate we have in here in the UK. On a windowsill, an aloe vera plant will still flourish and do amazingly well. If you're in California or somewhere, I imagine you've probably got one already. This I trimmed off the leaf literally 10 minutes ago. And what you get is you get a gel-like consistency in it, which is quite sticky. Aloe is fantastic at calming the skin, moisturising the skin, soothing the skin, and just really is, I'd say, a wonder ingredient. The fresher, the better. You can actually eat it. I've never tried it. Doesn't really fancy it, but it's supposed to be really good for the inside and your digestion. But applying it to your skin, what you do is you cut this open, literally slice it down the middle, scoop out the inside. You only have to use half it, so the other half put in the fridge and leave it for the next day. In the fridge is gorgeous because it's even more cooling. Scoop out the innards, and I use it after my exfoliation, before I start applying my other serums. Apply it to the skin, leave it for 5 minutes, it'll sink into the skin, it'll do all its goodness in hydrating. It's fantastic at moisturising, and wonderful at cooling, calming, and reducing any redness that you might have in your skin after your exfoliation and cleansing routine. It is just a lifesaver. I don't know why more people don't grow it, because it's super easy to grow. It takes literally no effort. If I can do it, and I am not green fingered, if I can do it, you guys can do it. So honestly, if you've got one, take the hack, use it now. If you haven't, actually go out and buy one. I think in the garden centre here in the UK, you can get an aloe vera plant that's really not too badly established already for about £4. So it's not break the bank, and it's a fantastic to have. I'd also say I fully recommend it if you get burns. So if you in the kitchen, if you get a burn, if you don't take the heat out of that burn instantly, it can then lead to deeper damage to the skin, deeper tissue layers of the skin, and that's when you get blisters and things. So run the burn under cold water. That's not freezing cold water. This is where some people go wrong. Don't shock the skin. Don't go into freezing cold water. Slowly take that heat out of the skin by running it over lukewarm water for as long as you can stand. Once you've done that, put aloe vera on and absolutely minimise the damage, soothe the area, stop any pain that you've got associated with it, and speed up the healing time. Absolute hack. You need this in your life. So buy an aloe vera plant if you haven't got one already. Now, hack 5 is going to be homemade face masks. Now, you know I have read to fill homemade face masks on this channel in the past and said, do not do it. Why? Why do people throw bicarbonate of soda, which is so alkaline and messes with your skin? Vitamin C comes from oranges, and so you can just lemons, so you can just slap acidic fruit on your skin, and it's great. When it doesn't, it damages your skin. I hate all these things because I just think they're doing more harm than they are good. However, there are ingredients which are fantastic and safe to use on your skin. So if you've got them, use your own DIY face mask. My favourite ones are aspirin. So you've got dispersible aspirin. Aspirin is in its purest form is salicylic acid. So you can crush an aspirin, mix it with water, apply it to the face, and that is a gorgeous pore declogging and acne facial. Fantastic. Similarly, if you have honey, I did an aspirin mask, I'll leave it up there, video. If you've got honey, is gorgeous. If your skin is dry, if your skin is a little bit sensitive, if it's craving moisture, if you've got a little bit of breakout or acne, honey is fantastic. It's antimicrobial. So it'll prevent any the microbes growing, which it's often the bacteria which is causing those whiteheads. It'll help deal with that. It's super moisturising. It's one of the most moisturising ingredients, natural ingredients found, and it is gorgeous. I did a similar video, which I'll link up there, about honey masking, and honestly, if you've got honey in your cupboard and you've got 20 minutes to spare, slap it on. You won't look back. Also, this is turmeric. Turmeric is absolutely fantastic as a DIY brightening mask. I'm sure you've seen, I haven't done a video on it because I think there's about a million videos on YouTube about using turmeric. It says to mix it with yogurt often. I don't like that because it messes with the pH of the skin. Just mix it with water, it's absolutely fine. Make it into quite a thick paste and rub it on the skin. It brightens and illuminates the skin, and honestly, you will look stunning after you've done a homemade turmeric mask. You can actually mix it with the honey if you want, so you get the moisturising and the benefits of the turmeric. So that's one thing that you might want to consider doing. Just be really careful, because a friend of mine thought she was reaching for the turmeric, because actually powdered turmeric works just as well as freshly ground, so don't worry about that. She grabbed the powdered turmeric, slathered it on her face, and it burned. Turns out she picked up cayenne pepper. Please. That was a lesson. She'll never do that again. Please. Quite similar colour to many other things that might be in your spice cabinet. Make sure you're picking up the turmeric before you do it, just as I. Now, guys, I hope that's 5 quick and easy things, hacks which you can do. If you take one thing away from this, it would be, honestly, grab a pair of socks, slip them on your hands, even just for 20 minutes. It'll just really, really help to lock in that moisture, supercharge that moisture, and give you those fresh hands back. I know I should do it more often, and I don't. My hands got so bad and so dry. You can see like there some of the cracks that came from it, and I've been doing that twice now, and they feel so much better. So if one thing, that is a life changer and a game changer. But absolutely, try some of the others. Let me know what you think. Leave me a comment in leave me a comment below. Give this video a thumbs up. Whiz over to Instagram. We have got a giveaway on at the moment, so I will leave a link up there to our the giveaway video. It is a really fantastic chance to win 15 amazing products from the drugstore. These are my personal recommended favourites from the drugstore. You won't get better products than these, and you can win all 15 of them by literally just leaving a comment on that video and liking us on Instagram. Easy as. I hope you're all staying safe, well and sane in this self-isolation and quarantine. I'm actually quite fortunate that I have a garden. I can sit out, I can get that fresh air, but I know not everybody's as fortunate as that, so I am reaching out to you and giving you a massive love from here in the UK. Wherever in the world you are, please stay safe, stay well, and leave me a comment below if you need anything or any advice whatsoever. Love you all, guys. Take care. Bye.